So hi, my name is Kimberly Whitney Perez. I have I'm a singer, songwriter, poetry writer, basically writer, screenwriter. I like to write short stories and movies and things like that. Probably, if challenged, I could probably write just about anything, from different point of views, different perspectives, different angles. I like character development, and it's something that I pride myself on, um, in different genres. And I can be creepy if I want to. I can be fucking funny if I want to. I can swear too much. I've been known to do that. I can be, emotional, romantic, science fiction, whatever it is, from realism to the human nature, touch on subjects like religion or just food for thought or things that are, kind of, gangster status, rock star status, uppity status, social stature, the way people treat each other, politics, whatever. I'm a fucking writer. I'm a very talented writer and I'm talented what I do. Um, it's something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. I started writing when I was in second grade. I used to sell book reports to other students to made up books that didn't exist. So basically, a synopsis to a book that didn't exist. I would make up authors, like random names, a beginning, a middle, and an end, and story about characters to, basically a book that I wrote. And in a short story, and the teacher, didn't really bother to look it up. They didn't have so much of the World Wide Web back then when I was in second grade. By the way, I'm 30. I was born in 1984. Um, so whatever that was, I did start school early because my birthday is December 1st. I was the youngest person in my class, making up stories, and now later can be sold. Synopsises can be sold as, basic movies, and that's a plot, things like that. Um, I started at a very young age. I am very good at what I do. Um, I lived in the country, a small town called Crow's Landing, California, is where I grew up. I didn't really know my birth mother. Her name is Constance Ann Curry Rose. Uh, she uh, she resides in Modesto, California now. I didn't know her. I remember her very vaguely from being a child, or a very, very little kid. I was taken away from her with my half sister, Janae or Jeannie, who changed her name a couple times. She now resides in Arizona. Um, we have different fathers. My father, who was a Marine and active duty when he met my mother, um, got found through child support, and different agencies contacted him when I was in foster care, which was an African American foster care home that I resided in, and it was an abusive home. I, Me and my sister both were abused by the father of that home. I compared him to like Ike Turner or something. He was a real jackass. Um, I don't know how to, whatever, if you wanted to compare him to somebody, an abusive guy. He also abused the mother. We always ate last. Were considered dollar signs to him, not children. Um, that's vague memories, but they are scarred memories. Uh, Either way, my real dad, Mr. Perez, or Sergeant Perez, who served in three branches of the military: the Marines, at the Naval Air Station, and also the Army Reserves, came to get me at that time when I was a very little girl with his then fiance, Deborah, my mom, who I considered to be my mom, who raised me with I have two older stepsisters who, when I was little, I didn't really know much, and they didn't treat me like I was anything different, and I was never really treated as a step. And the reference to Cinderella really started to piss me off later on in life because it pissed us off growing up because that's not how we acted. I was a baby and I was always a part of the family. Um, you know, I'm sure some other people have already heard of me and heard of me say this, heard me say that, whatever. Um, this is just a little insight to who I am. But I wanted to say that. So, let's flash back forward. Years later, I had things to write about. I grew up in that small town, Crow's Landing, California. It's a small little town in between. It's like the northern, central, eastern valley of California on your way towards the Bay Area before you get to the Altamont, is what they call it. And I guess not too far from Monterey and the other places like that if you're going towards the Bay Area. It's a little place, country town. It was very fun. I had a good childhood for the most part. Some of the other shit I'll probably talk about later in a movie. But, my grandparents were a big influence on my life. They're both dead now. That's my grandparents on my mom Deborah's side. I grew up with them, who both enjoyed music and movies, and it's something that I was driven to do, something they always supported me in. I lost them. I lost my grandpa, Robert Cabral, in 2008. He was also a step grandpa. I lost my grandmother, Barbara Jean Webb, in 2012. Things haven't quite been easy for me these last few years. I've been adjusting, but I wouldn't say that I've been adjusting, like I should. I don't really have a lot of support, the same support that I did before, people encouraging me to do, follow my dreams. You're talented. Why don't you do something that you're skilled in rather than just be a person who sits around here in a small one-horse town? I mean, now I don't live in that little town that we grew up in. I live, a little further, closer to the city, but it's still a small town. I sing, and I used to sing when I was little too. I used to be in plays. I draw. I'm very artistic when it comes to things like that. I like to do fashion. I got the nickname Talents from some of my friends when they were referencing to things I can do and things that I'm skilled in a lot of different things, and a lot of different things. Most of it you can't teach in school. Like, the one thing they said is a quote I heard before by a good author saying, the one thing you can't teach somebody is talent. Talent can't be taught. It's not in a textbook. Talent is God-given, and to waste it is a disgrace. So you know what? Even no matter how far I get, even if I try, and if I try for my friends that have passed away, if I try for my family, or for my grandparents that are no longer with me, then I can say I tried. I have two children. I have a daughter who is 12 years old, and I have a son who is 5. Those two people are, my biggest fans, I guess I would say, as far as, if they would miss me the most if something happened, wherever I go, if I'm missed by anybody, I'm missed by my kids. They like my attitude, to where I'm the type of parent to encourage them to do something crazy and go out there and, be yourself, be original, be weird, And no matter who doesn't like it, or your teacher doesn't like it, to hell with them. Be yourself. And I will support you 100%. If there's somebody there that's giving you shit, I will go and I will be the one to stand up for you. I will speak for you. If you have a problem with somebody, you tell me and I will go and I will handle it. That's the type of mom I am. I am divorced from my daughter's father, and my son's dad is not involved. We had a rocky relationship, and it was kind of on a whim whether we were ever going to stay together or not. But you know what? He's there. He still lives in this town, and he grew up in that small part of the west side of Stanislaus also, but we didn't know each other. And this is a small little place. Modesto, American Graffiti. It's known for George Lucas and the movie American Graffiti, muscle cars and Wolfman Jack, rock music, and things like that. And, some things that I love, like music, cars, sports, cruising, stuff like that. It's my home, and it will always be my home. Some people ask me about how much I've traveled, how much I've done. I started traveling at a very young age. I've been through a lot of different things. Probably lived a little bit before my time. I do not encourage my own kids to do the same thing. No, I was raised differently and I had to grow up fast. I want a better life for my children than I had. I don't know what else to say about myself, only that if somebody were to ask me at any given time, I would tell you a good story. And if there's any questions you wanted to know about me, I'd be more than willing to talk to you, as long as you're willing to listen. Again, my name is Kimberly Whitney Perez, and this is just a little information about me. I am going to sing a song. Love you.